Hi folks, this is Jay. Hope you're okay today. I just want to make some videos now, and I hope that they're going to be a blessing, a challenge, and make you think. Today is the anniversary of D-Day, D-Day remembered, and the celebrations going on in France at the moment, remembering D-Day. And in that, in those commemorations, you had David Cameron, European leaders, Putin and Obama go down and pay their respects. D-Day was a fight against fascism. It was a fight against the tyranny of those who would seek to take away and displace democracy and freedom. It therefore was a farce, or has been a farce, concerning Western leaders today. We had the farce of Obama giving a speech about the D-Day, the people of D-Day giving their lives, but they gave their lives for freedom. And I don't think they would agree with Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo is a blot on Western democracy. It's an absolute disgrace on our Western democracy. It really is. To have people put in prison by the world's leading democratic country, and that they do not have legal redress, is an absolute shambles. Now, I know that this was set up by Bush, so I'm not blaming just Obama, but I blame those bigwigs at Washington, those who have the wheels of power, whether it be Republican or Democrat. But it's an absolute disgrace and a blot on American Western democracy that Guantanamo has existed and continues to exist. And there is absolutely no compromise but that Guantanamo has to be shut down, and those who have been in prison need to have legal redress. And that's just non-negotiable if we're going to have a democracy. In democracy in the West, then that's not up for debate, it's not up for discussion. The fact that Western democracies are not saying anything about it, don't do anything about it, shows where we're at as a society, both in Western culture. Secondly, the people who died, they died again for freedom in the D-Day. They died for democracy. They would not be happy with the fact that America and the UK and other governments are ciphering off every detail of every household concerning their computer activities, whether it be phoning, whether it be email, whether it be on Facebook. All this information is going to Western government central intelligence services. Everything that we do is going to these central intelligence agencies and being sifted. Now, I don't think the people of D-Day died for that. So that's another blow to democracy, because people's freedom and privacy has been taken away. Now, nobody is getting too up arms about it, but we will get up in arms about it if democracy collapses and then this knowledge gets into the wrong hands and begins to be manipulative, where people disappear because they disagree with the political regime in power. So at the moment, as the economy, even though it's bad in some Western countries, at the moment as things stand, everything's okay, but when democracy begins to crumble economically, this knowledge that these intelligence services have gained can be used for the wrong reasons. So that's a blow to democracy. There is no check on the freedom of speech and privacy, because everything's being monitored. That's a step away from democracy. And third, the recklessness of Western political leaders. The people who died, when they died in a time where there were leaders of stature. Churchill, whether you agree with him or not, was a man of stature. He was a man who had a lot of experience. He failed early on in his career, but he'd had a lot of experience, and he was a man of stature. And there were many political leaders of that time that had stature. The political leaders of today in the West do not have stature. Many of them are often in cabinets and on committee meetings, who are young, entrepreneurial types who've come through the ranks of rich families and have been able to get political positions. They have not gained a lot of experience on the political arena, and they certainly aren't people of stature. And you can see that in the way things have gone in Ukraine. I mean, the recklessness of Western political leaders is absolutely astounding. It's an absolute joke what's gone on in Ukraine. The way we've allowed the fighting to go on in the eastern part of Ukraine, the way we've tried to intimidate Putin, the way America's tried to contain China and Russia, Obama going to Poland and having a photo shoot recently, it's all recklessness. It's just recklessness, and I'd say that on the side of Putin as well. You're playing with fire. I mean, if something goes wrong in Ukraine, we could have a third world war. It only takes one of those smaller countries to help Ukraine, or Poland to help Ukraine, or for a missile to go astray into another country, or it only takes something small, and it could embroil the East and the West in a major war. But the recklessness is, it's all about oil, it's all about the gas, it's all about money, and that's all it's about. And it's about oligarchs playing power games in the Ukraine for the gas and the oil, and brinkmanship in that area, without a blind bit of understanding of the ramifications and the implications of what could happen if their little flipping game, political game, goes wrong. So that's the third reason where democracy is in peril. And the fourth reason for democracy being in peril is, and I have to say, the gay rights issue in the West. The gay rights issue in the West has not been pushed democratically. Not even in America has it been pushed democratically. Nor in Europe, nor in the UK. There has been no national vote in America, in Europe, or in the UK concerning gay rights and gay marriage and all the rest of it. No national vote. Now, when the people in D-Day died, they died for democracy and they died for religious freedom. Make no mistake about it, that's what they died for. They died for religious freedom. They died for democratic freedom, yeah? Now, in a democratic society, you have a freedom to vote. You have a freedom of speech. Now, the West has imposed a morality. That's all it is. It's a particular morality that Western policymakers have deemed objective morality, and that's been imposed on the people. There has been no national vote in America, no national vote in the UK no national vote in Europe. There has been no political mandate anywhere in the West on a national scale for gay marriage. But it's been brought in surreptitiously by political leaders in America, by political leaders in the UK, and by political leaders in Europe, because there's a powerful gay lobby. But it's not been brought in nationally with academic debate and discussion. Now the problem is this, that when the people died in D-Day, they died for a certain understanding of democracy. And part of that understanding was the freedom of religion. The Constitution of America, the Constitution of the UK, or the basis of law, and the Constitution of Europe enshrined the freedom of speech for religion. Now these policymakers in America, in the UK, and in Europe have not thought it through. Nobody of any intellectual standing or ability in America, UK, or Europe, not one has had the brains to work out the implications of where all this is going. Once you have legalized gay marriage, once that is legal, de facto, you have made illegal any voice that would speak out against it. And that means what you have done is basically you have criminalized every religious voice in the West that would disagree with gay marriage. And that was done without national voting, without a national referendum. You basically criminalized tens of millions of people in Europe, America, and the UK. And I don't think people on D-Day died for that. And you're going to see a political crisis in the West that you've never ever seen before. You're going to see tens of millions of Muslims, Jews, Christians all go underground in the West. They're going to be not meeting in synagogues, not meeting in mosques, not meeting in church buildings. They will be meeting in houses, because they've been criminalized by the law that states a small minority of people have a specific right that was never thought through, that was never voted on nationally, that had no national political mandate. You basically took away the freedom of speech and the freedom of religious conscience in the West. So well done Obama, well done David Cameron, and well done European leaders. And that's all because you didn't give a rational discussion, a rational debate, national discussion, national debate, and a national vote. You took away the freedom of speech in the West. So basically, the West is finished. The West is gone. It's going to be in decline, and you're going to see China, you're going to see Russia, you're going to see Brazil, you're going to see India come to the fore. The reason why the West is declining is because its political leaders have lost touch with reality. It's lost touch with the ordinary people on the ground, and it's taken their right for rational discussion and rational debate on a national level. And that's why you're seeing the rise of the far right, because they're appealing to the masses. That's why you're seeing the rise of UKIP, because they're appealing to people who feel disaffected with the political class in the West. The only way you're going to reverse it is if you politicians, both in America, the UK and America, stop playing Russian roulette with our economies. Stop playing Russian roulette with people's freedom, and actually allow people to engage, and actually allow people to debate and discuss, and actually allow people to vote on issues that you implement without giving them a chance to actually vote and debate the issue. Okay? That's the only way, is basically give power back to the people and let the people decide, and not make social policies and impose it on people without them giving the right nationally to give a discussion and a debate on it. Why? Because you as politicians are so arrogant that you think you're right rather than the people.